Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud. Learn to lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss a very important current affair of 21st of November 2020. You can see here two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 8 to 9 very important and the most important current affairs. But before proceeding, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that you can buy our Affairs Cloud subscription with two methods. You can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affairs, or you can directly go to the description box. In the description box there is a link of subscription. You can buy the current affairs from that link also. Now what you will get in the subscription? You will get the daily current affairs, you will get the weekly PDFs arranged according to the week wise, you will get the weekly test also. This is very important to evaluate yourself so that you can retain the current affairs for long time period. You will also get the monthly PDF, and in the monthly PDF section guys, you will get the 5 PDFs. One is related to the theoretical current affairs, one is related to the question and answer PDF. This is very important because all the theoretical current affairs converted into question and answer form, so that you can retain and revise the current affair very quickly. Next is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, that before exam you can revise the current affair very quickly. Next is the banking, finance and the economy PDF. This is very useful for the banking aspirants. And last, that is the question and answer PDF top 100. It means top 100 current affairs will be provided to you of that month, and it will be in the form of the question and answer. So this all subscription comes at very minimal cost. If you visit the website or go to the description box, then you will surprised to see the price. And guys, on that minimal price we are providing 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get the 10% extra discount on that minimal price. And guys, these current affairs are provided in Hindi as well as in English language. So let's start today's current affair. You can see 21st of November, and here is our first question. Under RuPay card phase 2, which country card holders can access RuPay network in India? Now mark under the most important section, because they are talking about the RuPay card, that is Indian card, and we are also talking about the foreign country. It means RuPay card can be accessible by these country people. And one more important thing, this is the phase 2, because in 2019 phase 1 was already started by the prime minister of these two countries and launched RuPay card phase 1 in August 2019. And RuPay card phase 1 enabled India's RuPay card holders to access ATM and point of sale terminals across Bhutan. It means this country is the Bhutan, guys. Remember, under the phase 1, India's RuPay card holders to access ATMs across the Bhutan network. But now in the phase 2, you can see here that it allows Bhutanese card holders, it means the Bhutanese citizen holders, to access RuPay network in India. Earlier, we basically provided that Indians who holding RuPay card can access the ATMs of the Bhutan, but now we are allowing the Bhutanese card holders to access RuPay network in India. So this is vice versa, that firstly we opened for the Indian people in the Bhutan, or for the Bhutanese people in the Bhutan, they can use the ATMs of the Bhutan by the RuPay card. Now we are basically starting the providing a basically facility for the Bhutanese card holder so that they can use the Indian network ATMs. So this is Bhutan, guys. Remember, RuPay card phase 2. Remember, so it is launched by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bhutan Prime Minister Lotte Tshering. So remember, you can see here Prime Minister Modi ji and Bhutanese Prime Minister Lotte Tshering jointly launched RuPay card phase 2. So mark under the most important news, guys. Most important. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched and the Bhutanese counterpart launched this type of the facility. This will allow Bhutanese card holder to access RuPay network in India. Bhutanese people can access around 1 lakh ATMs and 20 lakh point of sale machines across India. And earlier RuPay card phase 1, I already told you in the August 2019, both the countries' prime minister launched this, that they can access ATMs and the POS terminal across Bhutan. A memorandum of understanding was signed between India and Bhutan for the cooperation in the space sector also. So you can also remember that a memorandum of understanding also signed with view of the space sector to install the knowledge of space, science and technology in the children. So this is the basic purpose of the this memorandum of understanding. Remember this. Now moving to next question, and remember what about Bhutan? Bhutan's capital, that is the Thimphu. Bhutan capital is the Thimphu, and what is the currency? That is the Bhutanese Ngultrum. Remember, I am writing the spelling Ngultrum, Ngultrum. Remember, this is the currency of the Bhutan. Move to next question. Which state become first state to release roadmap for the self-reliance? Mark under the very important, because with point of view the Atmanirbhar, that is the self-reliance program, and this state is the first state who released this roadmap for the self-reliance, that how this state will become the self-reliant in the different fields, and this state become the first state. And this state released a basically memorandum, like a book type initiative of the Atmanirbhar, which was started by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi under Atmanirbhar Bharat. The main focus on the transport governance, or you can say the transparent governance, farm welfare, job creation, and booster shot for the industry and the healthcare. It means three sectors are very famous under this program, that is the Atmanirbhar Bharat. One is the transparent governor, second is the job creation and the booster shot for the industry, and third is the healthcare. These three things will be focused under this self-reliance by this state government, and this state government is, guys, Madhya Pradesh. Remember, Madhya Pradesh is government who released this roadmap for the self-reliance. I am showing you that this type of the book is launched, and the program will be achieved till 2023. Will be achieved till 2023, and this state is the Madhya Pradesh. Very important state. Maximum forest area lies with the Madhya Pradesh. Remember, and there is a Panna Biosphere Reserve. There is a Panchmadi Biosphere Reserve is also there. There is a Bandhavgarh National Park, very important, one of the largest national park of India. Bandhavgarh National Park, very important. And guys, this manifesto, or you can say the roadmap, is released by the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, that is Shivraj Chauhan, in the presence of the state BJP President VD Sharma. And there was also Niti Aayog Chief Executive Officer, CEO, that is Amitabh Kant. So remember this is the Madhya Pradesh. You can also see here Atmanirbhar Madhya Pradesh 2023, that is the main slogan of this roadmap. Atmanirbhar, that is the self-reliant Madhya Pradesh 2023. Remember the year, till 2023. The students belongs to Madhya Pradesh. That is very important news for you guys. MP become the first state who released this type of the roadmap till 2023, and the roadmap focuses on transparent governance, farm welfare, job creation, and booster shot for the industry and healthcare. So there are three main leading sectors under which they are investing the money, so that maximum to maximum youth can be employed. So mark under the very important section. Move to next question. Which state or UT government signed a memorandum of understanding MOU with UNICEF to empower youth with skills and the job opportunities? So in the future, there is a need of skills, or you can say the digital skills, so that maximum to maximum job opportunities can be created. So one state or the UT government signed MOU with the UNICEF so that they can provide the skills and the job opportunities to the youth of the state. So tell me which answer is correct. And guys, this is not state, so all options are wrong. So answer is Delhi. So remember, the answer is Delhi, who tied up with the UNICEF for the skill creation and the job opportunities. Remember, they already started a portal. Delhi government already started a portal in the July 2020, that is the Rozgar Bazaar portal. So this will strengthen the Rozgar Bazaar portal, which was earlier launched by the Delhi government for the job seekers and the employers. It will address the challenges of the jobless, or the COVID-19 also, because maximum people lost their job in the COVID-19. So it will address the challenges to that people. And according to the Center for Monitoring in Indian Economy, Indian unemployment rate rises so much. That's why there is a need of this type of the program. So remember, they will provide the skills and the job opportunities to the youth. And it is a UNICEF, guys. Remember, and there is an initiative of the UNICEF that is known as Yuva. Remember, Yuva means that is young people. YUWAH. Yuva is basically, it aims at imparting skills and providing employment to young people in India in the age bracket of 10 to 24. Remember this, they are basically focusing on the age group that is 10 to 24, which are basically learning age 10 to 24. That is the program of Yuva by the UNICEF. You can also remember this. So you can see here, UNICEF, Delhi government in pact with the UNICEF initiative. UNICEF initiative is Yuva, and youth with skills job opportunities. You can also see here, this is the just strengthen the Rozgar Bazaar portal, which was earlier started by the Delhi government in 2020, and Delhi government Dialogue and Development Commission and UNICEF initiated multi-stakeholder Grover platform, that is Yuva, signed a memorandum of agreement. And Yuva, just remember, it is to imparting skill and providing employment to young people in India in the age bracket of 10 to 24. Most important line under this question, or most important thing under this question. You can remember this. So moving to next question, guys. Which ministry launched Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge? Mark under the very important question. It is the Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge. And guys, the answer is very simple, because it is related to the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is a mission of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Remember, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And what is this mission? That is the Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge. The challenge will raise awareness among citizens on the above mentioned issue, along with infrastructure creation for mechanized cleaning and capacity building of the workforce. And you can also remember one thing more, that there is a webinar launched at this platform, that is the Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge in New Delhi, where pledge has been taken by the senior officials representing 243 cities, all the senior officials of the 243 cities, to mechanize all sewer and septic tank cleaning operation by the 30th April 2021. It means by the 30th April 2021, all the sewers and the septic tank will be cleaned. And remember, to prevent hazardous cleaning of sewers and the septic tanks and promote their mechanized cleaning, this is the main aim of the Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge. So remember the keyword, that is the Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge. Remember the key ministry, that is the Housing and Urban Affairs. And who is the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs? That is Hardeep Singh Puri ji. So remember Hardeep Singh Puri ji. You can also see here, Hardeep Singh Puri ji launched Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge from 19th November 2020 to 15th August 2021. That is the Independence Day in the 2021. That is the last date. And it was started across the 243 cities. So 2 or 3 things important. It was started on the 19th November. It will be end on the 15th August. So examiner can ask the ending date, because it is very relevant. It is the Independence Day. That's why it is very relevant. And it is started under the 243 cities. 243 cities. Remember. You can see here, Hardeep Singh Puri launches Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge across 243 cities. One important keyword. Next, it is to mechanize all sewer and the septic tank cleaning operation by the 30th April 2021. So it means all the sewer and the septic tank will be cleaned by the 30th April 2021. They also gave their commitment to work toward preventing any deaths from hazardous entry. That is, the manual scavenging will be over now. Housing and Urban Affairs and Ministry of Jal Shakti will launch a Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge and conferring the Swachhta Award 2020 on the 20 best performing district. And I am telling you that which district is the best district under this category Swachhta Award 2020. That is the Siang district. Remember, Siang district in the Arunachal Pradesh. Siang district in the Arunachal Pradesh is the best district under the Swachhta Award 2020. So Siang in the Arunachal Pradesh. You can remember this also. So moving to next question. Which organization launched Future Skills Prime Beta platform to enhance India's digital talent? So future generation basically leading to the digital platform. So that's why there is a need of the digital skills, and to increase this digital talent, one organization launched Future Skills Prime Beta platform to enhance digital skills in India. And this organization, guys, is NASSCOM. Remember, this organization is NASSCOM, that is the National Association of Software and Services Companies. I am repeating again, who don't know, that National Association of Software and Services Companies. So remember this, NASSCOM. And this platform, that is the beta platform, Prime Beta platform, is started by NASSCOM as a part of its endeavors to increase or to create an ecosystem to enhance the digital talents of India with the required skill sets. It means they will provide these skills to the youth so that maximum to maximum ecosystem of the digital talent can be created. So it will basically benefit to many cities so that maximum to maximum employment can be generated in the IT industry. Maximum to maximum employment can be generated in the information and technology industry. So remember. And guys, where is the headquarter of NASSCOM? It is in Noida. Remember, it is in Noida, UP. That is the headquarter of NASSCOM. And who is the chairman of NASSCOM? That is the Praveen Rao. UB Praveen Rao. You can remember UB Praveen Rao. That is the chairman of NASSCOM. So these two or three things are important, that NASSCOM started this Future Skill Prime Beta platform to enhance the digital talent in the India, or you can say to provide the digital skills to the Indian youth. This is the basic program of the NASSCOM. Move to next question. You can also see in the image that NASSCOM launched Future Skills Prime. This is also with the tie-up of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Remember this, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and NASSCOM Digital Skill Initiative Beta Platform. Remember these two or three keywords. Move to next question. You can also see here that is the same thing which I told you. Which bank becomes India's first bank? So most important question, that is India's first bank and first in industry also to launch a fully digital payment mode, a cardless EMI facility at retail stores. Because guys, you have seen that there is a card EMI system, that every bank has a EMI card system, that by the credit card or by the debit card even you can use the EMI facility. But now this is the first bank and first in industry, like in the banking sector, that they started cardless EMI facility in the retail store. This is, guys, remember, cardless EMI, and this is the India's first bank. These two keywords are most important. And this bank is, guys, ICICI. Remember, ICICI Bank Limited, with the partnership with the Pine Labs, they started this cardless EMI. And how the customers will benefited by this cardless EMI? The facility allows the banks pre-approved customers, not to the every customer. It is just pre-approved customer to use their mobile phone and the PAN card. It means use their mobile phones and the PAN card instead of the simple wallet or the cards, to purchase their gadgets or the home appliances at retail store across pan India. It means across all over India. But it is not for all the customer. It is only for the pre-approved customers of the ICICI. Now, most important thing here is the ICICI, guys. ICICI was basically formed in 1955, but it was incorporated in 1994. Headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Managing director is the Sandeep Bakshi. ICICI managing director is the Sandeep Bakshi. And tagline is Hum hai na, Khayal aapka. Hum hai na, one is tagline, second is the Khayal aapka. Remember this. And this initiative was started with the partnership of the Pine Labs. You can also remember, but this is not so much important. Main important thing is the name of the bank. That with the PAN card and with the mobile phone, you can use their basically the you can say the cardless EMIs. Remember, ICICI Bank introduces cardless EMI facility, and this question is the most important question of the day, because I marked under the very important, but you can write under the most important section. You can see here, but this is the thing that I told you. Move to next question. Who released my stamp on the Chhath Puja? This is again important because it is a type of a, you can say the postal stamp that is on the Chhath Puja, which is released by. And by default, I am basically telling you that this is a postage stamp, and who is the Union Minister of Communication? That is the Ravi Shankar Prasad. That's why Ravi Shankar Prasad launched or released my stamp on the Chhath Puja. My stamp on the Chhath Puja. He also released a special cover on the theme Chhath, a symbol of simplicity and cleanliness. That is a special cover on the theme. You can see here. That is a special cover on the theme and the dark ticket also. This is the my stamp on the Chhath Puja. You can also see here Chhath Puja images that some ladies are basically seeing the sun, and this is the main initiative of the Chhath Puja. And guys, one more important thing, the my stamp on Chhath Puja will be available on all major post offices across India for purchase, and this is available for all. This is available for all. And my stamp is a new concept initiated by the Department of Post. Remember, I am telling you very important line. My stamp is a new concept initiated by the Department of Post, where common persons or the corporate organizations can now book orders and get personalized photographs or images on a postage stamp. This is a new type of the initiative by the Department of Post, and this initiative is known as My Stamp. It means you can use your photo or any relative's photo instead of the common utilized photos of the Department of Post. That is the initiative of the Department of Post known as the My Stamp. And guys, you know Chhat Puja, that devotees offer prayers of the god of light, that is sun, and he is considered the life force that binds the universe and gives energy to all living things. And this is very important festival in the Bihar, Jharkhand and the Uttar Pradesh state. Remember this. So this is the Minister of Union Minister of Communication, that is the Ravi Shankar Prasad. You can also see here, he also released a special cover of theme Chhat, a symbol of simplicity and cleanliness. Remember, and this is a initiative by the Department of Post, which I was talking, that where common persons or the corporate organization can use the personalized photograph of images on the poster stamp. So it is a new kind of initiative. Move to next question. Government announced how much air transportation subsidy for 41 notified fruits and vegetables from northeast and the Himalayan states to any place in the country, because so much slowdown is going on due to the COVID-19. So the government basically provided some type of the subsidy and increased some type of the subsidy, so that 41 notified fruits and vegetables from the northeastern states and the Himalayan states can be transferred to the other state. And it is the air transportation system, so that it can be transferred very quickly and very easily. And guys, answer is 50%. Remember, it is very huge that 50% air transportation subsidy will be provided for 41 notified fruits and vegetables only for the northeastern and the Himalayan states to any place in the country. It means if they want to transfer anything out of this 41 notified fruits, and then they will get the 50% subsidy if they belongs to the northeastern and the Himalayan states. Airlines will provide the transport subsidy directly to the supplier. By charging only 50% of the charges, with claim the balance 50% from the Ministry of Food and Processing Industry. Ministry of Food and Processing Industry, who is currently the Union Minister of Ministry of Food Processing Industry. Earlier it was you can see the Harsimrat Kaur Badal, but she resigned, and currently this department is held with the Narendra Singh Tomar. Remember, who is the currently Agriculture Minister of India? That is Narendra Singh Tomar. Remember this, 50% guys. And who is the Minister of State in the Food Processing Industry? That is the Rameshwar Teli. Remember Rameshwar Teli, he is currently the Minister of State under the Ministry of Food and Processing Industries. So you can see here, government approved 50% subsidy, and it is very important news for the northeastern and the you can say the Himalayan states. Next question. What is the rank of India in the 2020 Trace Bribery Risk Matrix? 2020 Trace Bribery Risk Matrix. And guys, one important thing in this news is the India performed better than its neighboring countries like Pakistan, China, Nepal and Bangladesh, but lagged behind Bhutan. And what is the rank of India? India's rank is 77th. Remember, India's rank is 77th. Remember this. Mark this, that 2020 Trace Bribery Risk Matrix, that India is on the 77th position in the bribery risk factor. So remember, you can see in the image also that India ranked 77th position globally ranking. Trace Bribery Risk Matrix, that is the name of the agency who basically launched this type of the index. You can also see here, it is released an anti-bribery standard setting organization Trace, featuring 194 countries, and out of 194, India's rank is 77th. And in accordance with the matrix, India is at 77th position in the total risk score of 45. In 2019, India's rank was 78th. It means we improved just one position if we compare with the 2019. And the list has been topped by the Denmark. It means for the lowest bribery risk is the Denmark. Second is the you can say Norway and the Finland. It means it is topped by the Denmark. Remember, these are the best countries in the every index, like Denmark, Norway, Finland, Switzerland. These are the best countries. And in this index, it is the Denmark. On the other hand, North Korea ranked last. It means the very risk-prone country in the bribery factor. That is the North Korea. That is a basically you can say the dictatorship country. And remember one important thing which I told you earlier, that India performed better than its neighboring countries of Pakistan. India is better than Pakistan, China, Nepal and Bangladesh, but lagged behind Bhutan, because Bhutan rank is the 48th. But India's rank is 77th. So only country in the neighboring areas, so it is the Bhutan, who is you can say the forward from the India. Next question. Who won the Exim Bank BRICS Economic Research Award 2020? Very important question. Mark under the very important section, because it is the BRICS, that is the Brazil, Russia, India, China and the South Africa Economic Research Award 2020. 2020. Economic Research Award 2020. And guys, this award goes to the Dr. Adam Yao Liu. Remember, Dr. Adam won this award, or you can remember the full name, Dr. Adam Yao Liu. You can see here, Exim Bank of India announces Adam Yao Liu, winner of the 2020 BRICS Economic Research Award. Economic Research Award, because he published his thesis that is known as Building Markets Within Authoritarian Institutions, the Political Economy of Banking Development in China. That is the best thesis, and that's why he won this Exim Bank of India award. So it is for his PhD work. I already told you, Building Markets Within Authoritarian Institutions, the Political Economy of Banking Development in China. BRICS Economic Research Award was instituted by the India Exim Bank, that is the Export-Import Bank, in March 2016. It means this award basically started by the India's Export-Import Bank in the March 2016. It is to stimulate and encourage advanced doctoral research on economics related topics for contemporary relevance to the member nations of the BRICS. It means only the member nation citizens are basically, you can say, apply for this type of the award, And you all know BRICS, that BRICS is the combination of 5 countries. I already told you, and presidency of 2020 lies with the Russia. In 2021, this presidentship goes to India. Remember this. And G20 presidentship goes to India, and India will host in 2023. G20 summit India will host in 2023, because in 2021 it will be hosted by Italy, and in 2022 it will hosted by the Indonesia, but in 2023 it will be hosted by India. Earlier India will hosting the 2022, but now India will hosting the 2023 G20 summit. Remember this. And currently president is the Vladimir Putin. Currently president of Russia is the Vladimir Putin, and also the BRICS president. So, moving to next question. Douglas Stewart won Booker Prize 2020 for which novel? Douglas Stewart won Booker Prize 2020 for which novel? Most important question. The examiner can ask that who won Booker Prize 2020 for which novel? Who won Booker Prize 2020 for this type of the novel? You have to remember the name, that is the Douglas Stewart, and the name of the book is the Shuggie Bain. You remember, the name of the book is the Shuggie or the Shuggie Bain. The exact pronunciation is the Shuggie Bain. Remember this. Douglas Stewart hails from the Glasgow, Scotland. It means he belongs to the Scotland, United Kingdom. And the subjects covered in the Shuggie Bain include poverty, alcoholism, and neglect with love and the compassion. The book portrays the life of the working class during the 1980s in the Glasgow, because he belongs to the Glasgow. That's why this story basically moving around the Glasgow. So remember this. This is important question. It is the 2000 Booker Prize that goes to the Shuggie Bain, and who is the author? That is the Douglas Stewart. And guys, you will be surprised that this book is his first debut novel. Remember, debut novel of the Douglas Stewart. Remember, and he is just 44 years old. Remember this. And this book is published by Groove Atlantic. You can remember this. Examiner can ask this one also. Groove Atlantic. This book is published by this publishing company. Remember this. And one more important thing, that he is second Scottish writer. It means the second writer from Scotland who win this award. It means the Booker Prize won by the second Scotland author. That first one is the James Kelman. First author was from Scotland who won the Booker Prize was the James Kelman, who won the Booker Prize in 1994. So much long time period waited by the Scotland, that in 2021 another person from Scotland won this award. And earlier who won this award, the name of the book was How Late It Was. That is the name of the book. So remember about this book named Shuggie Bain, and the name of the author is the Douglas Stewart or the Stewart, or you can say it is published by the Groove Atlantic. These three things are very important in this question. Now moving to next question. Accord Group India Chairman Bish Agarwal awarded AESC Life Achievement Award. So just remember the name of the award, that is the AESC. AESC stands for the Association of Executive Research and Leadership Consultants. I am repeating again, Association of Executive Search and Leadership Consultants. So this is the basically name of the award, and it is a lifetime achievement award won by the Bish Agarwal, and he is currently chairman of the Accord India. He is the chairman of Accord Group India, and remember, he is the first Asian who received this recognition. First Asian who received this recognition. Remember this. This award is important, so mark under the important section. And name, you have to remember the name Bish Agarwal. Move to next question, guys. World Children's Day. World Children's Day. So this is very important because it is not a National Children Day. It is the World Children Day, and it is celebrated on the 20th of November 2020. 20th of November 2020 to promote international togetherness and awareness among children globally. Children globally. And you know who observed this day? That is the UNICEF. UNICEF. That is the United Nations Children's Fund. United Nations Children's Fund. And you all know about the UNICEF. Where is the headquarters of UNICEF? That is the New York, United States. New York, United States. And who is currently head of UNICEF? That is the Henrietta Fore. Remember, Henrietta Fore is the currently head of the UNICEF, United Nations Children's Fund, and it is the World Children Day. Remember, 20th of November 2020. Not mark the 14th November 2020. Not mark it, because examiner will confuse you by this question. So remember, it is the 20th of November. Important question. Move to next question, and it is the World Philosophy Day. What is the name of the day? World Philosophy Day. And it is celebrated on the 19th of November, but not every year it is celebrated on the 19th of November. It is basically celebrated across the globe on third Thursday of November. Third Thursday of November. So it will not be so much important day, but you can remember World Philosophy Day. Third Thursday of the November, and it is celebrated by the UNESCO. It is celebrated by UNESCO, World Philosophy Day. And why this day is celebrated? It is just to promote the international culture of philosophical debate that respects human dignity and diversity, and celebrate the importance of philosophical reflection, and provides an opportunity for the people across the globe to share their philosophical heritage. So this year it falls on the 19th November, and theme is the importance of philosophy in the times of crisis due to the COVID-19. So there is a need of the motivation. So there is a need of the philosophy, so that we can motivate the people. So this is the basically need. And another important thing, this day is observed by the UNESCO. So remember, UNESCO headquarters is in Paris, and who is the Director General? That is Audrey Azoulay. Remember, who is the Director General? Audrey Azoulay of the UNESCO. Headquarters is in Paris. Move to next question and next section. Basically, it is the one-liner important points. One-liner important points. And here is our first question, that is Delhi government or CEGIS signs MOU to carry out detailed study of measures for state revenue. So one important thing, that is the CEGIC. What is the full form of this? That is the Center for Effective Governance of Indian States. Center for Effective Governance of Indian States signed a MOU so that they can carry out detailed study of measures for the state revenue. The study will promote comprehensive data analysis related to the GST or any type of the state tax like vehicle tax, stamp duty, excise duty, and the comparative state analysis for improve the tax revenue capacity of the Delhi. Revenue of the Delhi. So not so much important question. You can by remember just news. Next is the Africa Industrialization Day 2020 celebrated on 20th November. Not so much important, but it is related to the Africa. It is related to the Africa Industrialization Day. Remember. And it is on the 20th of November. It is celebrated on 20th of November just to create and raise awareness about the importance of the industrialization of Africa and difficulties faced by Africa. So it is basically common in the Africa. Remember. And next is the Indian Army gives specialized tank ammunition development project to private sector for the first time. It is the first time that Indian Army is basically giving a tender to the private company, to a private company. So this is very important news. You can mark under the very important, because you have to just remember the name of the company, and name of the company is Osho Corp. Remember, OSHO, Osho Corp, basically Osho Corporation Global. This is basically name of the company. Remember, Osho Corp Global. This is the name of a company that will build the main battle tanks for India. Remember this. It is the first time that a private company is building some type of the tank ammunition for India, and it is the Osho Corp Global. Now move to next question. Government of India and Government of Meghalaya and the World Bank signs $120 million Meghalaya integrated transport project. It means to improve the transport of the Meghalaya. There is a World Bank tie-ups, Government of India tie-up with the state of Meghalaya, so that maximum to maximum transport can be improved by giving so much of type of loan. That is the $120 million. So just remember this. Next is the Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company launches Kotak ESG Opportunity Fund. Kotak ESG Opportunities Fund. Remember this. And more important thing here is the Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company Limited. That headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Headquarters is and managing director is the Mr. Nilesh Shah. Mr. Nilesh Shah. And this is the ESG Opportunity Fund. ESG stand for Environmental, Social and Governance. Environment, Social and Governance. Environment, social and governance. I repeated 3 times so that you can remember. And it is an open-ended equity scheme that focuses on these 3 things: environment, social and awareness and governance factors, that principle of responsible investing, so that we can invest in a responsible way by taking care of the environment and social and governance. Next is the Prime Minister Modi holds India and Luxembourg virtual summit with Luxembourg Prime Minister Xavier Bettel. So nothing important. It is just to improve the bilateral relation between the two countries. Bilateral relation between the two countries. Just remember. And who's the Prime Minister? That is the Xavier Bettel. So guys, this is all for today. If you like this video, then subscribe this channel and please press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time of the videos. And guys, this is YouTube like status so that you can like 700 plus. We want 700 plus so that we can make more videos on the different contents. And guys, it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section definitely. And if you are reading the current affairs daily from the PDFs, and if you are reading or if you are viewing the videos daily, then it means your current affairs section will go strong, and definitely your number in the current affairs section will also improve. Thank you guys for watching this video and take care.